green dot burlap fabric, you had a 1/2 meter piece. All the applique pieces go down one side, and from the other side we want to cut 6 1/2-inch strips on the straight grain. These are going to be straight stems, so they don't need to go on the bias grain. We can just cut them from selvage to selvage. So I've double folded my 1/2 meter piece. I've actually already cut my applique shapes out, and I've lined it up on my ruler, so I've got it nice and even and straight. So my fold's sitting on the line there and on the line there. I'm just going to neaten off the left edge because I'm right-handed. So I'm going to use the line on the mat to neaten that off. And then I can either use the lines on the mat or the lines on my ruler to cut 6 1/2-inch by width of fabric strips. Again, if you've got your stripology ruler out, please use that. Be quick and accurate. There's our 6 strips ready for our straight stems. Making our stems for the blocks. First we're going to work with the stems we cut across the straight grain of the fabric. So that was from selvage to selvage across the width. We cut them at 1/2 inch wide because we're going to make 1/4 inch finished stems, and we're going to use a 1/4 inch bias maker or any other method you would like to use. And I do have a separate YouTube video on 5 different ways of making bias if you don't have a 1/4 inch bias maker, but this really is the easiest, most efficient, and gets the best results if you're going to be making a lot, which we are for this quilt. So first of all, we're working on our straight grain strips. I can't really call them bias strips, but they're going to be like stems. And what I do first is I soak them with a starch. So I'm just using Best Press, just so they hold together a bit better. So just in a big pile, just spray them with your Best Press. Okay, then we're going to be taking one at a time. Now I haven't joined these strips because these are going to be cut into exact straight lengths, so there should be plenty, and we'll just do individually one at a time. So we start by taking our bias maker, and it may help, I've got some scissors, it may help to just cut a diagonal or a 45-degree angle or a diagonal point on one end. I'm just going to do that on my cutting mat because I don't have any scissors here. And it just helps to feed that into this slot. So you just feed it in until you can see the fabric in this little slot here, and then just get a pen and feed it through until it pokes out the end like that. Then I'm going to pin the end of that to my ironing board, and I'm just using a small pressing mat for this video, but you would do it on your ironing board so you can do big long lengths. And then as we slowly pull out the metal bias maker, now I do it upside down so that my folds are underneath the fabric and not on top, which means my little handle here is underneath. Some of them don't have a handle, but I can just grab it and pull. And as you're pulling it slowly, you're running the iron along there and drying out that starch and setting the seam. You don't want to stretch it too much, and as I'm feeding, I'm just making sure that this 1/2 inch strip stays square with the bias maker and doesn't go to one side or the other. That's why it's important to cut the strips exactly twice the size of the finished bias strip. So it's a 1/4 inch bias maker, so we cut it 1/2 inch. If the strips were wider than 1/2 inch, it doesn't feed through flat, and you get like little creases and puckers in your bias strip. Okay, then I can just take out my pin, slide that along, repin it, and continue. And I'm just going slowly so that the hot iron's got enough time to dry out that starch and set the folds, the creases in it. You can imagine if you had a whole length of an ironing board, you wouldn't need to repin and move as much. Well, I actually don't have a real ironing board here, I've just got a cutting mat, so that's also not very easy to pin. You could also use steam in your iron and that would set it as well. If you had plenty of steam going through it. And I'm nearly to the end. As it pops out the end, just hover there for a few seconds to make sure you've set that. And then what you can see is that your two edges have folded to the middle and set there with the starch. So on the front you've got no raw edges, you've just got a nice folded edge, and they're both folded to the center. Okay, continue until you've got all of your stems prepped. An alternative is, once you pin and get started, you can sit your iron there, remove the pin, and just gently, with the bias maker against the iron, gently, gently, gently pull the strip all the way through. Just have to go slowly so you've got enough time to dry that starch, or if you're using steam, to steam your sides down. You can use best press, or you can use flatter or magic press, any starch. And I'm just gently pulling that through. Particularly when it's been cut on the straight grain, because you're not stretching it as you're pulling it. If it was on the bias, we'd have to be a little bit more careful that we're not stretching it. When we do the bias stems, I'll show you the difference there. And we've finished our strip.